Hi, and thank you so much for watching the How to Uncover and Overcome Self-Sabotage show. I'm Andrea, I'm the Dominant Mindset Coach, and I was a dominatrix for 12 years before I became a confidence coach. And self-sabotage is one of these things that I just love talking about because it's the number one thing that comes in and undoes all my good work. So I'm really excited to talk about this next one with you. And this with me is Yannick.
Hi, everyone. I'm Yannick. I'm known as the Naked Coach on social media. I'm also a confidence and mindset coach, and I'm fascinated with self-sabotage. So why do we do it? How do we notice it? And then how do we overcome it?
Amazing. And what are we going to be talking about today, Yannick?
So today, this week, the controller.
Oh, nice. Okay, so what's the controller all about?
So the controller is typically anxiety-based and needing to take charge and control situations. And so anxiety tends to shoot up, or his impatience or her impatience when controlling a situation is not possible. So just like anything, there are good things and bad things, right? I mean, like it's not like an all or nothing, like, oh, it's like these saboteurs, it's only negative, negative, negative. Yeah. There are strengths in people with these saboteurs. It's just that it's almost like these strengths have been put in like hyperdrive, where like they're sort of like running at a 10 out of 10, when normally they should be like, I don't know, like somewhere like 3, 4. In terms of intensity, if I can use that barometer. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so it's like I said, it's not all bad. It's just that it's sort of like the dark side of certain behaviors. And now if we go in and take a look at the strengths of controller, what that looks like is somebody who's confident, somebody who's action-oriented, decisive. I mean, like, none of these things are bad, right? Taken on themselves. I mean, like, who doesn't want to be confident, action-oriented, or decisive? So somebody who will challenge themselves, somebody who will actually do the right thing, even if that means going against the grain and being the person with the unpopular decision. So that's basically like a tidbit of what the strengths are for somebody who has a high controller as a saboteur. Okay.
This is resonating so hard, like, yeah.
You know what? And it's like I said, it's not a bad thing. A lot of these characteristics are extremely positive. And if you don't have them, certain people would look and say, hey, you know what? I wish I had some of these strengths. It's just that for the people the individuals who have a saboteur, a controller saboteur, it just means that it's almost like these strengths have just sort of like been put on steroids and are activating or firing more than in reality than they need to. So here are some of the characteristics and some of the thoughts that somebody who has a controller saboteur will basically sort of like go through. So characteristic, we're looking at somebody who's got strong energy and likes to take charge. Again, not bad things, they're great things. Somebody who likes to connect with others through competition, challenges. So, and here's where it could be a little bit negative. Sometimes they connect with others through conflict rather than softer emotions.
You know, I've actually made some of my best friends through having an argument with them. And I'm not even kidding. So, and it's almost like there's a healthy respect that gets built through that conflict. Like, they didn't back down. Okay, I know my level with this person and know that they'll be straight with me. So there's a trust that gets built. And I'll tell you a funny story about it. There's a lady who I've never met in person, but she was someone who moved into my ex-husband's house and she was going to live with her husband, and there was some history between my ex-husband and this lady, and I was furious. I'm like, why did nobody ask me? Why do you have this woman staying in the house with you? I'm not even there, because I was in the UK at the time, he was in the States. Oh, I was raging. And it was MySpace was around at that time, so I sent her like a scathing message on MySpace, like, what are you doing in my husband's house? Like, I was absolutely furious. And then afterwards, he disappeared for a week. He just went off the radar, and I was like, I can't get a hold of him. Who's the one person? Because he was with his friend. Who's the one person I need to contact? So I contact her. I'm like, where is he? And she's like, I don't know, but let's see if we can try and find him. So she's trying to find him, I'm trying to find him. And then, fast forward years later, when he took his life, she was the person that broke the news to me.
Wow.
And we've been friends ever since, but she's the person that when people were putting all this stuff on Facebook, and I was reading messages, I'm like, what's going on here? And she was the one that messaged me and said, look, I need to tell you what's happened. And she did, and we've been really good friends ever since. Never met in person, but we've been really good friends ever since.
Interesting. Really, really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay. Well, you know what? We'll talk about this a little bit more later this week when we do the Clubhouse.
Yeah.
So here's the predominant thought of the controller. So it's black or white. You're either in control or you're out of control. And so others want and need to take control over me. So because if I don't have control, then that means that they have control. No one's going to tell me what to do. I mean, how often have, like, just in conversation, in an argument with someone, has somebody basically sort of like pulled that card out? It's like, you're not going to tell me what to do. And so, yeah, so that can be a thought that comes from the controller. So the feelings that are actually involved. So what happens is that the anxiety level tends to increase with somebody who's got a high controlling saboteur, and it escalates if things aren't going their way. So they also tend to be impatient with other people's feelings. Mm-hmm. And the interesting part is they feel hurt and rejected, but they won't or rarely will admit it to anyone else. Mm. So some of the justifications and lies that, or whispers that will go into your ear is, well, like, without me, meaning the controller, you won't get much done. And hey, you know what? Like, it's good to push people. If I don't control the situation, I will be controlled, and I can't live with that. And you know what? Like, I'm trying to get the job done for all our sakes.
God, it's me. Wow. That is wild. And God, the impact of that on myself, and I will burn myself out before I let go.
Right. Mm-hmm. So here's the impact actually that it can have. So the controller only gets temporary results at the cost of others feeling controlled and resentful for not basically being able to tap into their own greater reserves. And what that will often do is that it will trigger guilt and shame. And then that's basically, it's almost like that hamster wheel that you get on. Mm-hmm. And it's one thing after the next. And then it's almost like a dog chasing its tail. It just like it doesn't end until you become conscious of it and say, hey, you know what? Like, why am I feeling this way? It's like, oh, okay, this happened and that happened. So if I just say that, you know what, like, just be mindful of the impact that it has on you and on your relationships. So, and the original survival function. So this is when the saboteur was created. So underneath the bravado of the controller, there's a hidden fear of being controlled by others. Not often, but sometimes the control is associated with life experiences where as a kid, as a child, you are forced to grow up fast, be on your own, and take charge of chaotic and dangerous surroundings in order to survive, either physically and or emotionally. So, and the final one is it's associated with being hurt, rejected, betrayed, and deciding basically at that point in time to never be vulnerable again.
Yeah, that resonates so much. You know, I used to, at 5 or 6 years old, I was getting myself up, getting myself dressed, making my own breakfast and taking myself to school.
Yeah.
Because there was just so much going on in the house. There wasn't, you know, nobody was awake to come and take me to school, or my dad was working away, or my mum was working night shift. It was just chaotic. So it's not their fault. Like, I don't blame them, but man, this is resonating big time with me. So yeah, a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, no, I was going to say, yeah. And I mean, like, you and I have spoken at great lengths about like stuff that's happened in your life. And as I basically was reading through and preparing for today, I was like, oh my God, like a lot of the stories that you shared with me popped in my head. So, yeah.
This is, there's a lot. I'm so excited for Friday now to really get into this. And to really discuss this, because there's so much. Like, I'm going to journal it over the next week, whatever pops into my head, because I don't want to miss anything on this, because this has really struck me. So amazing. So it's Friday at 7. There's my controller coming out. I'm like, what time is it at?
So Friday, 7 o'clock British summertime, which means that it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon for North America Eastern Daylight Time, which then means it's 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for the folks that are in North America, but on the West Coast.
Oh, perfect. And it's on Clubhouse. And the links will be in the description for this video. But also, here's Mrs. Controller coming out. Do the assessment and find out what your saboteurs are, so that all of these series make sense. Like and subscribe so that you get notifications for all the videos. Join the Facebook group. You can come and chat and drop some questions and comments in there. And the Facebook group is called How to Uncover and Overcome Self-Sabotage. You just search for it on Facebook. It's right there. And join us on Clubhouse. If you need an invite for Clubhouse, please drop us a message on Facebook, or, you know, we're available to speak to. So drop us a message and just let us know that you need an invite, and we will sort you out. I've just had another 3 invites given to me, so I'm golden for giving out these invites.
Yeah, exactly. And if you we'll drop the links in the comments. So if you want to join Facebook, find us on Facebook. The same thing with the link to the Clubhouse chat will also be dropped in the description. So we're looking forward to speaking with you on Friday.
Excellent. Good. And that's us.